How many of us have goals we'd like to achieve one day? Awesome. So what about New Year's resolutions? Did anyone set any New Year's resolutions this year? We're in April. All right, awesome. So how many of you are still working on your New Year's resolution? Great, great. So there's been a study that all New Year's resolutions will only last 10 days. But I know you guys are not going to allow that to happen, right?
Nope. No.
That's right. All right, so you want to set some goals. So there are three types of goals. There are long-term goals, there are short-term goals, and there are stretch goals. Long-term goals is basically something that's far out that you want to achieve one day. Short-term goals are something possibly that you can achieve within 5 years or less. Stretch goals are goals that are hanging out there once you accomplish those short-term goals. So have you ever found yourself assisting a family member, grandparents, parents, teachers, friends on how to set up their computer? Or what about assisting your parents on turning on notifications, turning off notifications, downloading apps, removing apps, right? So if you found yourself doing that, then guess what? You're already in technology. You've been doing something for free that now you're about to get paid for. Awesome. So the future jobs are tech jobs, and here's why. So iconic retail stores are vanishing because of one giant, Amazon. So could someone tell me why Amazon is the cause of all of these household name companies closing their doors? Yes?
You don't have to get in your car and drive. You can just, from the comfort of your house,
yes,
order the books you need. Or
convenience, right? Awesome. Anything else? So what about Amazon being an innovator, right? So most of these companies that's been around for 30, 40, 50 years, they're thinking, we've been profitable all these years, we've been doing something right? So when technology came out, when e-commerce came out, they refused to embrace the change. They refused to move with the times. So Amazon, they continued to march ahead, and these companies that were stuck in their old ways, they never budged. So that caused them to fall into that trap of closing their doors. All right, so the future of tech jobs. So I give you an example. Right now, you can walk into McDonald's and not speak to one person and place your order from the comfort of a kiosk on the left-hand side once you walk into the door. You can go in, you can scroll up and down on the menu, you can select exactly what you want, and also check out right there from the comfort of a kiosk. Walk to your seat, and then your food will arrive. The next one is Red Robin. How many of you have eaten at Red Robin? Awesome, gourmet burgers, right? So at Red Robin, once you're done eating your food, there is a machine at your table. You can check out right there via cash or through a debit card or a credit card. I want a tech job, but I lack the experience. What do you do? So I'm going to show you 3 ways that you can gain the experience when you're afraid and you don't have the confidence to go in and apply for a job that you feel like you don't have real world experience in. All right, so you could join a boot camp. That's the first option. So in order to join a boot camp, you will experience real world situations. So most of the boot camp companies, I recommend 3. codeacademy.com, udemy.com, and also lynda.com. Lynda.com now is owned by LinkedIn. And we'll talk.
Sorry, are they all online, or are they?
Yes, they're all online companies that you can actually do virtual boot camps with. Great question, thank you. So anything that you want to do in terms of programming, web design, web developer, graphic design, programming, project management, you can also check these different companies right here where you can gain that real world experience. All right, so the next option is launch your own app or tech startup. So if you launch your own app or tech startup, here's an opportunity for you to play the role in your own company that you want to apply for in another company. So I'll give you an example. If you want to be a social media marketing manager, here's an opportunity for you to be that social media marketing manager at your own company so that you can gain that real world experience. So if your job is to purchase Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google AdWords, this is an example and an opportunity for you to get real world experience. The other is web designer or a software developer. So if you are an owner of your own app or your own tech company, guess what? You can actually play the role and responsibility of getting the things out the door so that the real customers can start providing feedback. All right, so the third one will be online freelancer. Show of hands, how many of you have heard of freelancer or freelancing? Awesome, great. So what a freelancer is that, say for instance, I'm a web developer or I'm a web designer or I'm a graphic designer. I would sign up on one of these 4 companies, Fiverr.com, Freelancer.com, Upwork, and then the last one, peopleperhour.com. What I would do, I will create a profile on this site, and my title will be freelance web developer or freelance graphic designer. And so when I'm on here, basically I'm soliciting all of the skill sets that I have and the services that I provide. And say, for instance, someone comes here and they search for me and they look for me, they will find all of my stars, all of my reviews. And that's the thing that you want to get. You want to be able to gain the reviews and the stars. And here's an example. Say, for instance, you can build a website for one of your parents or a friend and have your parent and friend sign up on one of these sites, give you a 5-star rating. So that can actually start building up your momentum for your customer base. Do you need to learn how to type? Can anyone answer that for me? Yes.
I mean, I do because I'm a terrible typer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the answer is yes. You want to learn how to type. So if you don't have a course here, you can actually go to YouTube and learn how to type for free. There are a ton of people on YouTube showing you how to type. And what I mean in terms of typing, imagine yourself doing a presentation at an organization, and you're the person that's leading and guiding that presentation. If you are in front of a laptop or a computer, you want to be able to have your hands placed on the home row key or the home row keys. You want to be able to look around the room and talk to different people and answer different questions. You want to be able to multitask. And you don't want to do this. You don't want to be pecking one index finger at a time. You don't want to do that because that's going to be embarrassing for you. And if the meeting is time boxed for 1 hour, guess what? Now the meeting is going to go to 1.5 hours, possibly 2 hours. So it's going to be very painful for the audience. All right, so there are 4 types of interviews. First interview is a phone interview. I think we all know what a phone interview is. The next one is a video recording interview. The next one is a Skype interview. And the last one is an in-person interview. I'm going to talk about the video recording interview. So the video recording interview is basically you will receive an email from a technical recruiter or a hiring manager. Once you receive that email, you will click on the link. You'll be provided with a username and password. Once you go in, you will have the instructions in front of you on how things are going to go for that live video recording interview. Once you access the system, once you get inside, the first question that will be asked to you possibly will be time boxed to maybe 3 to 5 minutes to answer the question. So what you want to do, you want to make sure that you have a video on your computer, and it's going to be live, and they're going to actually be recording you at the same time. So you want to dress up for that interview. And you want to make sure that you practice your resume, and you want to make sure you practice the skill sets that you're interviewing for. So that is a video recording interview process. Should you dress up for a phone interview? Anyone can answer that. Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, yes. Could you tell me why?
Because you look professional and you want to be in your pajamas.
Yes.
Interview.
Yep. So that's a great answer, but here's the answer that I'm looking for. You want to dress up during your phone interview because when you're interviewing, now you have the confidence that you need, right? Now your voice is going to be projected. And the person that's interviewing you on the other end, they hear a smile. So you always want to think about that, okay? Never interrupt during an interview. So if you're in an interview, whether if it's in person, Skype, or a face-to-face interview, you want to make sure that you're pausing and you're giving the person at least 1 or 2 seconds before you chime in. So take a deep breath, whatever you need to do, but you don't want to overtalk the person and you don't want to rush through the interview. And then the last one is listen attentively. So in order to listen attentively, you're checking for attention to detail. All right, number one question that's asked by hiring managers, and no one is never prepared for this. So tell me about yourself. Every time I used to get that question, I used to get like this. I used to be so afraid. So what I did over the years, I started preparing myself. I started doing preparation work. I started looking at my resume, reading my resume, memorizing my resume. So anytime you ever ask this question, it's always about selling yourself. So you want to give a quick story about yourself. You want to be able to sell yourself to the person. And when I say sell yourself, and when I say answer the question about tell me about yourself, I'll give you an example of what I use. I have 22 years of technical professional experience. The first 10 years, I started out as a technical writer. I've also did some PC technician work. I also did some QA testing work, did some business analyst, senior IT project managing. The last 12 years I spent as a Scrum Master where I'm managing developers and testing teams. And I've also been a senior Agile project manager and also a senior Agile transformation coach. And I'm done. So what I did, I gave a summary of my job experience and my work experience, not about your personal life or your life story. They don't care about that. All they want to know is about how do you fit in with us and are you a team player? Should I post my resume online? Could anyone answer that for me? If you're looking for a job, should your resume be visible? Yeah. Yes. So I recommend these 5 companies, and these companies have worked for me. Dice.com, Indeed, Monster, Career Builder, and the last one is ZipRecruiter. Do I need a LinkedIn profile? Yes, you do. Could someone tell me why? Yes.
Because people from near and far can find you based on what you were talking about, which is that introduction of
yes.
your professional life.
Absolutely. It's a quick snapshot of who you are. So what hiring managers and recruiters do, before they post a job on these major job boards, they would actually go out to LinkedIn and type in some major keywords that they're looking for. Once they type in those keywords in the actual region, the city and state that they're looking for, then they'll start narrowing that list down based on the qualifications and the years of experience. Okay? Are tech companies tattoo friendly, body piercing friendly, and unnatural hair color friendly? All of the companies I've talked to, they welcome all of these things in terms of style. The only thing that they ask is that if you have tattoos that could possibly be offensive to someone at school, then they want to make sure, someone at school or work, they want to make sure that you are covering those up. And that's all they ask. Will employers spy on you? Let's talk here. I'm sure a lot of you talk to your parents all the time, or your parents may tell you that's not appropriate for social media, that's not appropriate for the world to see. But in terms of someone that's not in your household like myself, that has real world experience in this system, I want to make sure that I'm communicating that message to you. So yes, they will spy on you. So if you're applying for a job, they're going to go out and check your Facebook. They're going to go out and check your Instagram account. They're going to go out and check any account that you have possibly that's on Google. So they'll probably do a Google search. That way your name will come up and they can see all of the different platforms that you're actually associated with. So you want to make sure that, because I asked the question around how many years back are you going to look at their content? They never gave me a true answer. So I would say as far back as you can, go back and clean up all the things that you feel that's inappropriate.
Or even erase it, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so now we're down to the last slide. What is stopping you from going out and applying for the job of your choice with confidence? And if you ever get to the point where you feel like you don't have the confidence, and you feel like you don't have the job experience, and you feel like you just don't feel like that skill set is there yet, here's a quote that I always use for myself in order to motivate myself. There's a gentleman by the name of Zig Ziglar. He's passed on now, but he was a great motivational speaker. And that quote is, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Thank you. So, yep.